Hello, fellow truckers, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We have a load of ethane going from Page, Arizona to Kansas City. We got, a couple hundred miles into this trip before I decided, you know what, I'm tired and I'm done and I need to take a break because, I had a pretty hard day yesterday. So, or at least a pretty hard day from the real world perspective yesterday, and I just wasn't feeling it. So I decided we were just going to go ahead and be done. Let's get our wipers turned on and we'll start getting moving here. You can see that it's raining, which is going to make this whole process that much more interesting. But we're also only carrying a single trailer, non-articulated load of ethane there. So, I don't know. It might not be too difficult with the rain. We're also only at like 80,000 pounds or 70,000 pounds or something like that. So, shouldn't be that big of a deal. Let's get our... Yeah, I was about to say that we need to get the top-down view of where we're trying to go fixed because... I don't know, for whatever reason, it just does not save the current status of your UI in the game when you turn the game off. So that's kind of frustrating. I really wish it would just come back to the way that you left it. Because it's kind of annoying. Because we have it set up so that the dash is our, close-in driving cam, tell us where we're going, tell us what the next turn needs to be. And then we have the UI version of it set up to be our giving us an overall view of how long we have left to go. And the only reason I'm really doing it that way is because I do want to have quick access to, I do want to have constant access to how many miles we have left on our trip, so I can kind of be judging when we're going to stop our episodes for the day, because we're not really trying to do 1,000 or 1,500 miles in. Ooh, I was not paying attention and I forgot that it was wet and I didn't stop early enough, and fortunately we had the braking power to be able to avoid rear-ending that car in front of us. That would not have been very fun. I'm also distracted by the fact that I'm trying to talk while I'm doing this, so there's always that. But anyways, so we're going to continue to try to get down to hopefully like 500 miles. If we can get down to 500 miles, I think I can just suck it up tomorrow and just get the rest of it done, but we'll see. I'm also trying to make it so that I don't necessarily babble the entire time that we're doing this. You guys let me know in the comment sections. You must be a public subscriber at the very least, if not a member, for me to see your comments, because I have put measures in place to kind of shield myself from most of the trolls. And if you care enough to actually be a public subscriber or a member, you're more likely to give me constructive criticism rather than just "you suck," that kind of stuff. And while I can live with that if I have to, I don't want to. So anyways, I say all of that to say that if you actually want to reach me, you have to be a public subscriber or a channel member, because I filter out everything else. Anyways, let me know in the comments if you would prefer to have something that has more cuts in it. My concern thus far has been that I just don't want to end up cutting out large chunks of the trip. But at the same time, because continuity is kind of important for something like this, where you can see where you are and you're watching yourself drive down the road. But at the same time, I don't know that everybody wants to see every mile of every trip that we do. And if I don't have anything to say about the game or something to talk about, it doesn't necessarily make sense for me to go blabbing on about things. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll kind of tweak this series as we go. My goal is to get people to not only click and start watching the video, but actually to stay. And if me babbling about stuff that doesn't really matter or ends up causing people to get bored, then obviously we don't want to do that. So yeah, we got a fuel station coming up here. I'll probably bring you guys back when we get to that. I have discovered that I can't do any more than 65 miles an hour in this truck while it's raining, because I was trying to go around the curves at 70 and I just started sliding off the road. So that wasn't particularly fun. You have to be very careful about that. But we do have our fuel stop coming up here. Looks like it's on the left side of the road though, so I'm gonna have to start getting over. I can't even see my mirrors, but it is what it is. We'll hop over here. We'll grab ourselves some fuel, maybe. I'm not really happy that, of course, there's a ton of traffic right now, but we're just going to kind of force our way out, because I'm never going to get in here if I don't start, making people let me go. Thank you for stopping right there. By me. Get by me. By me, please. You know what? I'm not playing with you. Get out of my way. Better things to do than sit here and wait for you guys to figure out what you're doing. I am the important one in this. No one else matters. And it actually does. That's actually the way it is in this game, because I am the only thing that matters. This is American Truck Simulator. You guys can sit and wait, and then I'll push my way out. Yeah, the way that they do the AI in this game is just, it can be kind of annoying sometimes, because it's like a real human being would be like, oh crap, I don't want to hit this truck, I need to stop and slow down, you know. And if I start pushing my way out, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to wait, dude. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna push up. Oops, stop. Yeah, stop. That's what you get. That's what you get for driving super fast. Oh well. A little bit of trailer damage. It's not gonna really affect things too much, but I don't like to get too low on fuel, because you never know when the next fuel stop's gonna be. Now this truck should be able to go a really long distance before fuel is an issue, and inevitably, because I decided to take the time to stop and get some fuel, another fuel station will show up in a very convenient spot. That's just the way it works. But I decided I was going to go ahead and stop and see what happened, and so yeah, there's that. I guess, I don't know, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, the time-lapse videos, yeah, see, I'm trying to turn, I have full right wheel in right now. The time-lapse videos that I was doing, while they did give you a full, complete viewing of the trip, it zooms by so fast that I don't know that you necessarily needed to see it, because we're in the cab of the truck and everything's just kind of zooming by. You don't really have time to see anything. So I don't know that it's necessarily a bad thing to just put big cuts in it when there's nothing interesting happening. So maybe we'll try that. Maybe we'll try that. I'll just bring you guys back when I see something interesting, and otherwise it's just a bunch of boring highway driving. It looks like we're coming up on something on the side of the road here, so I have no idea whether it's going to be interesting or not. Looks like this is like a little farmstead with some RVs and stuff in the back, or maybe that's an RV park. Yeah, it looks like an RV park back there. Very hard to control this in the rain, especially in third-person view, but you know, I still want to give you guys some decent scenic views. Unfortunately, because I have things set up so that it only records while I'm talking, I have to talk during it. So for those of you who that might annoy, you just want to see the views. Sorry, that's the way it works. There are some serious problems with the traction on this truck, because I can't go around any of these curves any faster than about 50 miles an hour. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it has the Vortex highest grade awesome traction tires on it, but like some of these curves, I'm sliding off the road. Like I'm doing 65 right now, but some of the other curves I was doing like 60 miles an hour or 55 miles an hour, and I was still sliding off the road. So I'm not sure what the deal is, but yeah, there's some traction issues going on. Like, yeah, I'm sliding off the road right now. Oh my God, turn, damn it. Turn. I don't know what's going on with that. That's super annoying. I think it's probably because I have the option turned on that prevents you from flipping your truck over if you turn too hard. I may need to think about turning that off. So let's go take a look at that. Let's hop into the options here, and we'll go into gameplay. And then I don't remember where specifically it is where that's an option, but I'm gonna look through the list here and see if I can find it. Okay, I can't seem to find that. Oh, come on! I'm loading my last save. I don't know why. Like, this is unreasonable. This is super, super unreasonable. There's no reason why I should be sliding off the road at freeway speeds. I'm not speeding. I'm not doing anything unreasonable. I'm not that heavy. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to drive at a reasonable speed. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to drive at a reasonable speed, even in the rain. That's ridiculous. Anyways, I was trying to say I can't find whatever setting it is that controls, because there was a setting that made it so that when it won't let you turn the steering wheel to the point where it will cause instability and cause you to like roll over. It was a checkbox option that you could do, and I just can't find it anymore. I'm not sure where it is in the menu system. I don't know if they relocated it to another place. I would imagine it would either be in the gameplay part or the controls part. Really should not be a keybind anywhere. That would make it like, look, we're 55 miles an hour and we're sliding on a gentle curve. What is going on here? I don't know if it's a mod or what's going on. I think I'm tempted to just disable all my mods and see what happens with that, because I want to do that. Okay, I have completely removed every kind of anything that isn't just a visual appearance kind of thing. Now you can see the rain and all that stuff looks a lot crappier than it did, but, you know, I really need to be able to drive in a somewhat reasonably controllable way. So, you know, as nice as it is to have splattery wind effects and all that, or splattery rain effects and things like that on the thing, I'm sorry, I can't live with that. That's too, I don't know. If we start sliding again, I'll just put it all back. But for now, I need all of the physics related things to just go away, and I need a controllable vehicle, because when it rains, I want it to be able to rain. I don't want to have to turn rain off, but I can't have it raining and then at 55 miles an hour, I'm still sliding off the road. That's completely unreasonable. So we're gonna test this out for a little bit, see what happens, and then hopefully it doesn't become a problem. We're going to be getting on the freeway here pretty soon too, so we're going to be able to hopefully not have too much in the way of slowdowns, and we can get a bunch of distance completed. Alright, we are through the lights and getting onto the freeway, so let's go ahead and start getting down the hill here. Let me fix my GPS so it's not showing all that extra stuff that I don't necessarily want to see. We'll get our speed limit set to 65 for now. See where it is. Get our speed limit set to 65 for now, and then if we can control ourselves around the curves, we'll bump it up a little bit more. But yeah, I'm able to turn. Oh yeah, I'm able to turn now. Oh man, I'm able to turn now. At 55 miles at least, I'm able to turn. So yeah, we're gonna keep on going. Now I probably will put the sound mods back in. I don't know why I took them out. The sound mods didn't really affect anything, but yeah, the physics mods were just making it completely, like, I understand it's a big heavy truck and you shouldn't necessarily be able to barrel down the road at 80 miles an hour going around curves and all that. That's fine, but when you're at 55 or 60 miles an hour and you can't negotiate a highway or freeway, you know, style turn, that's not realistic at all. And it's unrealistic in a negative way, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not you know me, I'm not necessarily one to go for super crazy realism. I'm not interested in that. But at the same time, we don't want to go the other way where, you know, the being unrealistic about it is actually worse. We don't want to do that. Got a nice cool train here though. Let's see if we can hop out and take a look at it from the outside. A little bit to the left there as we're looking at the train, and get back to looking forward. So yeah, I'll probably put my sound mods back in. I'll probably put the Waze mod. I don't know. Let me know. I don't know. What do you guys think? What public subscribers and channel members, what do you guys think about the kind of navigation that we had? Do you like the Waze, or do you like this darker American Truck Simulator style version of it? Because frankly, for me, the information provided on the dashboard version of it doesn't necessarily help me at all, because I need to see how many miles we have left. I don't care about ETA for time. I care about how many miles are left, and I have never found a single version of GPS related things that allow you to see that information in the dash version. Okay, so now we have to slow down. This is at least reasonable. I'm doing 65. I have to do 65 to get around some of these curves here, and I can slow down I have enough traction to slow down to the point where I can safely negotiate that turn. So that's at least reasonable. Now the question is, was it the weather mod that was doing it, or was it the realistic truck physics mod that was doing it? I mean, I could play around with it, I guess, and try to figure out which one is which. But the problem is that now I'm gonna have to stop again if I do that, and I don't want to. I don't want to have to get our momentum back up. But I guess with this load, this is the place to do it. So let's save the game, and we'll save the game as Gunthrek. And then we'll go back to the title screen, and then I will add all the visual and sound mods, and the I'll add the weather mod back in. So we'll do that. We'll do the road and wind and noise. The noise shouldn't have anything. We'll do the light mod. Well, no, we'll leave the light mods off for now. I don't want the physics mod because I feel like that's what's screwing me. I'm going to leave the sensible traffic mod off because I don't want realistic traffic. I want less traffic. if I'm perfectly honest with you. We'll put the sound mods back in. We'll put the realistic... Wait, why do I have two mirror... Oh, mirror camera mod. I don't really need that because none of the American trucks are going to look good with that on there, so we're not going to do that. We'll put the air brake sound mod back in, the Cummins sound back in. Brighter low beam, I'm going to do that just because I don't want... I don't know. The sounds that come out of this are kind of annoying to me, to be perfectly honest with you. We'll put the soundproofing mod back on. We'll put the weather mod back on. We'll leave the headlights mod off because I feel like this is probably conflicting. And then we'll continue our career. We'll load the game back in, and then, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping that it's just the physics mod. If it's the weather mod that's causing the roads to be super, super slick, that's going to suck because the visuals of this mod are actually pretty nice, and I don't really want to have to turn it off, but I'm also not going to slide around on the road at 55 miles an hour. That's just completely unreasonable. All right, so now we got the refraction from all the water happening on the windshield now, which actually looks pretty cool. We've got the Waze mod. I don't know. It doesn't look like the Waze. Yeah, we got the Waze mod back on now, which is nice. So let's get back up to freeway speed and see if we're actually able to turn at a reasonable rate. I'm a much bigger fan of this version of the weather. It looks much more realistic and much more... you know, interesting to look at. Let's get our speed limit set up to 75 like we were. And then, yeah, if it's just the truck physics mod that we have to turn off and everything else works fine, then I think I'm going to be pretty content. If it's the weather mod causing the roads to be extra slippery, then, which is certainly a possibility, then that's going to kind of suck. But, yeah, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I yanked it over to the left and it didn't feel like it was responding very well. But, yeah, we'll test it out. Okay, I don't know. I'm having a hard time telling if it's actually better or not. I had to slow down over 65 miles an hour for these turns, but I feel like I'm able to stay on the road a little bit better in the 60s, which I think the realistic truck physics might have been the problem. I'm sure that the realistic weather mod is causing the friction of the ground to be less because it's wet outside, and obviously that makes sense. I think that might be overtuned a little bit based off of the mod that I have. I don't know if these mods auto-update or if you have to go back and redo them. I think if you're subscribed, all of my mods are subscribed via the Steam Workshop, so I'm pretty sure those auto-update, but I'm not 100% on that. But this does feel a lot more controllable. We'll have to wait to... Unfortunately, of course, right after I put the weather mod back in, there's no, like, sharp curves or anything. So we're going to have to wait until one of those pops up and so before we can really tell. I mean, like, sharp for a freeway, you know what I mean? Like, see how bad that is. But for now, it seems like we're able to kind of control this. Oh, nope, everybody's slowing down. We're going to get over to the left lane just to make sure that we have the best possible chance of not having to slow down to a crawl. And unfortunately, these guys are going to make it so that we have to pretty much come to a stop. These guys are killing me. Come on. It's because there's this truck in the left lane who insists on... It's like he wants to pass, but he's not going fast enough to pass anybody, so he's just blocking traffic and preventing anybody from getting anywhere, which is annoying because I turned off the realistic traffic thing. So why are you in the left lane? Get out of there. We all have places to be. Okay, he has decided to move over into the right lane, so hopefully now the rest of us can speed past him and start getting some distance down, because... You know, these drives take long enough without having somebody get in front of you and take forever. You know, we have another 150 miles to go before I can pull over and stop and save the last of the trip for the next episode. And I'd really like to get there as soon as is practical. Okay, we're heading up to what appears to be a junction to another highway. Honestly, that's going to kind of suck because it means that even if the speed limit is like 70 miles an hour, it means we're going to be driving through towns and intersections and stuff where the speed limit's going to slow down. It's kind of really hoping that we're going to stay on the freeway for the rest of all of this, but we also have some sharp turns. Oh, no. Nope. Yep, that's definitely, I'm pretty sure that's the weather mod. I'm almost certain that that's the weather mod. I had no traction at all, even a little bit. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn it back off, and we'll see. Let's save. Okay, we have the we have the weather turned off again, which, you know, honestly, that sucks. It really, really does suck, but we'll test. We'll test and see if we can do freeway speeds and not get yanked, not slide off the road like we're on ice, because if the weather mod is basically making the friction to where it's almost like you're on like black ice or something like that, then that's just not something that we can live with. I just can't. I can't. I understand, you know, you got to slow down when it's raining and all that. That's fine, but I should be able to, especially with anti-lock brakes and all that stuff, I should be able to manage my speed and slow down 10 miles an hour to get down to 65, which you should be able to navigate a freeway curve at 65 miles an hour in the rain in a truck like this. Like, you can't tell me that you have to be doing 45 miles an hour on the freeway in the rain. That's just, there's no way. There's no way that's reasonable. So we're gonna roll like this for a while and see how it goes. Got about 100 miles left until we've reached our goal for the day, so hopefully there'll be a rest stop. 45 miles an hour, that's going to be painful. Unfortunately, it seems like because we're on the highway now, the speed limits are going to be lower anyway, unless it bumps back up to 70. Looks like it's 55. Hopefully it bumps back up into like the 70, into like 70 miles an hour, and then we'll be able to test it. But yeah, 70. Okay, let's get it up to 70. And then we'll navigate some curves in the rain and see if we're continuing to have a problem. If we have to leave the weather mod off, then we have to leave the weather mod off. I'm not I'm not going to drive super slow. That just sucks. All right, we have a fairly sharp turn coming up here. Well, of course, it's going to slow us down to 55, which honestly probably more real. But I mean, look, I'm able to turn, and it's overcorrecting even in the 50s. So, you know, if it's overcorrecting in the 50s, then I should have a reasonable control in the 60s, which is reasonable. Obviously, I'm not saying, at no point am I saying that we should be able to do 70, 75 miles an hour around every curve in the game. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you're on the freeway and you need to slow down to make the turn, you shouldn't immediately start sliding off the road, especially if you're in a vehicle equipped with anti-lock brakes. That's not reasonable. So, pretty sure it was the weather mod that did that. We're gonna leave it off, and if I don't experience any more issues in the rain, then we're just gonna proceed from this way. If you have an idea, or if you have a suggestion for a better mod that's in the Steam Workshop, I'm not going through the process of having to download other mods and figure out ways to get it injected into the game network. Steam Workshop's the only thing I'm using. But if you know of a better mod in the Steam Workshop that doesn't screw with the physics and just gives you the nice visuals, I'd be interested in that. But I'm not going to drive 45 miles an hour everywhere I go when it rains, because the mod makes the road too slippery. I mean, we're doing 70 miles an hour here, and I'm just turning around the corner now. So that's definitely what it was. It was the mod doing that, and that's super annoying. It's also super disappointing. Let's take a second to adjust our mirrors, because for whatever reason, the mirrors got all jacked. I keep doing the wrong ones. The mirrors got all jacked up. So let's get that back to where we can kind of see the truck there. Get the left convex over and down to the right. Oh, I don't know why that did that. Okay, hood left. We'll bring that all the way to the left and down. I think because I removed the realistic mirror FOV, it just kind of changed what the cameras could see, but okay, whatever. Hood right, we'll get this one over to the right. I'll finish adjusting my mirrors and then we'll get on our way. Okay, that's significantly better. Well, I don't know if it's significantly better. I think the reason why we couldn't see, why the mirrors looked weird, is because the tank on the back is actually much thinner than an actual box trailer would be, or some other big load like that. And that's why it looked weird, because normally I can't see the tops of the wheels like that. I think that's probably why. The convex mirrors definitely needed an adjustment. I'm not so sure that the left and right mirrors did, but we'll check that again the next time we have a load that... Ooh, whoa. The next time we have a load that is a box trailer like that, and will give us the visual that we need. 50 miles an hour here kind of sucks, and it looks like it's dropping down to 40, so we're going to be slowing down quite a bit. I do believe that at this parking area up here, we're going to go ahead and stop for the day, because In addition to the driving that we've gotten done today, all the stopping and reloading and all that stuff has just really pushed out my recording time, and I just kind of need to be done with this game for the day. So I still have another video to record after this. So yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it for today's episode. I'll pull up here to the left after whatever light and stuff that we get, park, and bring you guys back tomorrow. Hopefully you guys had lots of fun. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Join as a member for early access to videos, among other perks, or you can just leave YouTube's version of it with the thanks button. Also have PayPal and Patreon links if you prefer to support the channel that way. So again, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to come back for our next episode, and I'll see you then.